talk about how poverty affects people in the United States. The poverty rate has been very high since the Great Recession in 2008. We have millions of people, children and seniors living in poverty. We've all struggled, so we know what it's like to need assistance, and a lot of times we'll see somebody in a dire situation and feel like I could lend them $5 or something, right? So today I want to talk about this radical idea of donating. When we donate our money, where our money goes, who we give it to, how it gets sent out to people. We're going to talk about also who's suffering the most when we talk about poverty. Obviously, what we've done in the past and what we can do better going forward. So, like I said, in 2008, we had the Great Recession, and during the recession, 450 banks, according to the FDIC, 450 banks failed. So, clearly, the people handing out money were also in need of money. The unemployment rate was at 5% at the beginning of the recession. During the recession, it got up to 10%. So, and to put that into perspective, it's currently at 3.8% as of March. So, obviously, a lot of people were out of work. People were in need of money. The people that were most affected were young men, African Americans, and Hispanics were the most affected by the unemployment rates during the recession. So, everybody's out of money, even though now we're in 2019. I want to say it's been about, they said 2010 was the end of the recession, so we've been about 9 years. That while the unemployment rates are decreasing, we don't necessarily see an increase in income. So right now, according to the Census Bureau, the average rate of poverty is 12.3% in the United States. In Louisiana, it's 19.7%, which puts it at the third highest in the country. The Federal Reserve Board did a survey, and they asked people if you incurred an emergency that say cost you up to $400, do you think you could meet those needs? And 40% of respondents said that they don't think they would be able to tackle that $400 emergency without selling something or borrowing money. So we're not in a good state as far as money goes financially for us. In 2018, the federal poverty line, which is set by the U.S. Department of Human Services, was at $25,000 for a family of four. So the federal poverty line is set the same no matter where you live. It's across the board. In order to qualify for social safety net services like SNAP, formerly known as food stamps, Medicaid, you have to be 130 to 150% below that poverty line. So for our family of four, that would mean trying to live on $12,000 to $17,000 per year, which is obviously not a lot of money. But if you want help, if you want assistance, this is how bad it has to get. And this is not even the worst of it. This is the line where they say, this is where we're going to start helping you. And start helping you means you can't get just $1 in SNAP benefits. The people most affected by this poverty are children. We see the women are greater affected than men. Single-parent households led by women are more affected than married couples or even single-parent households led by men. Obviously, the children in those households, seniors, disabilities, we have indigenous or native folks, Hispanics, and Black people are deepest in poverty in this country. Now, there has been a radical idea going around for about 10 years now where they think about how do we alleviate poverty, and not just in the United States, but around the world. So, social scientists have been thinking about this idea. If we want to alleviate poverty, why not just give poor people money? And they decided, well, let's test this out. Except in the United States, they haven't tested it out. They've tested it out in East Africa. There's a company actually called Give Directly, where they give money directly to people in East Africa. They focus mostly in Rwanda, Kenya, and Uganda. And they have major backers like Google. So this is a thing. Like, it's taken off. They're giving these people money every month or every other month. You get like $200, and they're turning around and they're actually making businesses, and like, good things are happening with the money, but nobody's doing it in the United States. And this is actually called direct giving. It's direct cash aid transfer, no strings attached. So my question is, what about the 15 million children right here in the United States? 1 in 4 children are food insecure. They're not getting enough to eat every day. They are only having 1 meal a day when they go to school. What about those kids that need to eat and that they could use that direct cash transfer? Why haven't we tried these programs right here in the United States? And the biggest fault seems to be that everyone is so in need here, no one can really agree on who gets the money and how they should get the money. So another big thing that I wanted to bring up is that when we give money to people to help, or a lot of times we'll have can drives, right? You get your can drive and everybody's giving those nasty green beans nobody wants to eat, asparagus in a can. Instead of doing all of that, why aren't we giving people money to buy what they need instead of deciding what they need best? And we donate to organizations. So we've got organizations like Red Cross, right? Somebody needs some help, we go to Red Cross. And Red Cross boasts that they have 13 million volunteers in 187 countries. They actually have an annual revenue of $2.6 billion, and that's the American Red Cross. I'm not talking about the Red Cross around the world. So that's a lot of money for them to respond to disasters, and time has shown that they are not doing a good job at all. Matter of fact, in 2015, the Federal Government Accountability Office did a survey, and they said that when they went over the work that the Red Cross has done, that there was no oversight, there's no external review of what's happening, if their services are effective, if they're doing what they need to do. And again, several disasters in and out of this country, it has been shown that they aren't doing well. We're giving them a lot of money and they're not doing what they need to do. So just to wrap things up today, what I wanted to say most after giving you all these facts is that we've all been in a place where we need help. The best way when you need help, I need tires for my car, would be for somebody to give you that money. Let you decide. I can't make my light bill this month. Give you that money. Let you pay that light bill. Let you do what you need to do to take care of yourself. So instead of us giving billions of dollars to organizations like the Red Cross, churches, charities, whatever, and they don't give us accountability or transparency in what's happening with that money, we can go to other organizations that are offering us this accountability, that we can go forward and say, hey, I'm going to give you $20, and that person can say, okay, I turned around and gave that $20 to this other person, and that person paid their light bill with the money. You're not worried about the executive that took an extra 10% off the top to give that, so now instead you only got $18 because I took my $2 off the top. I work with an organization, with an activist, and our website is guanoir.com, where we do just that. We have people that come to us in need. They tell us what they need. They fill it out on the website. We vet the money, what they're asking for. We have donors that come to us. We vet the money. We turn around. If somebody says, I need $183 for my light bill, you prove to me that you've got a light bill that needs to be paid. I direct transfer, PayPal, Cash App, whatever, the money to you to pay your light bill. No strings attached. I don't require anything of you. I don't ask any extra questions. If you choose to use the money on something else and your lights get cut off, that's on you. In this system, again, there are ways to find out if someone's being dishonest, but I do ask today that, even if you don't take a look at us and what we do, that you do go and think about, when you donate money, who are you giving your money to? How are they showing you what they're doing with your money? And are you getting any help